Good morning, NFL football fans. It's NFL football game day. It's week 10 in the NFL. We are nearing the halfway point of the season. Here are my thoughts on the season so far. It's been an exciting football season up to this point. Before I get into the overall season, I want to give you my thoughts on the two New York football teams. Starting with the Giants. As you know, they're not playing well at all. In fact, they're playing worse this season than last season. They are an awful 2-7 on the season going into week 10 of the football season. I don't see this team going anywhere this season, not into the playoffs, and if anything, this team is going backwards. They're on their way of possibly getting a top 5 draft pick in next year's NFL draft, because I don't see this team getting that many wins for the remainder of the season. The best they could do is maybe get another 2 or 3 more wins because this team is going nowhere. So that's my thoughts on the New York Giants. Now the New York Jets. The Jets came this season in hoping of going into the playoffs and have a deep run in the playoffs, possibly going to the AFC Championship game. So far, it has been a disappointing season for the New York Jets. They are 3-6 of going into week 10 of the NFL season. Now, both the Giants do play today. The Giants play this morning at 9:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time in Germany against the Carolina Panthers. Now, this is a winnable game for the Giants because the Carolina Panthers are no better than the Giants because they have a sucky season. So this is a winnable game for the New York Giants because I think they could beat the Carolina Panthers this morning at 9:30 in the morning in Germany. So I'm picking the New York Giants to win today's game. The Jets play later on this afternoon around 4 or 4:30 in Arizona against the Arizona Cardinals. This game today, even though the Carolina Panthers are 4-4, they're still a team not to be reckoned with. I think the Arizona Cardinals are a very good team, and it's not going to be an easy opponent for the Jets as people think it is. So, Jets need this win. This is a big game for the Jets because if they can't beat the Arizona Cardinals, then the chance of going to the playoffs this season is very slim because they already lost their chance of winning the AFC division because Buffalo's probably going to win that division. So the only path that goes to playoffs is clinch a wild card spot. But they got to start winning games because they're not going to the playoffs. So this is a big game for the Jets. So if they don't win today's game against the Arizona Cardinals later on today, then the chances of going to the playoffs is basically very slim. And I'm really disappointed in the New York Jets because they came to the season with high hopes. Rodgers back at quarterback. They got Devontae Adams. They ended during the season. There's no reason why this team cannot go to the playoffs. This team is very talented. They gave Rodgers everything everything that he wanted. So there's no reason this team can't go to the playoffs and have a run in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens with the Jets today. Hopefully they can beat the Arizona Cardinals. Now, as for the first half of the season, here are the division leaders. In the East AFC, you have the Buffalo Bills. Now, they have a very good season. I definitely see this team going to the playoffs and going to the AFC Championship game. In AFC North, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this team is going to have a dogfight with the Baltimore Ravens for winning the AFC North. Because I think both the Steelers and the Ravens are a very good team. Very good team. So, it's not going to be easy for the Steelers to win the AFC North division because they got a dogfight with Ravens. So, I'm picking either the Steelers or the Ravens to win that division. In the AFC South, you have Houston Texans. This is another team that's been very surprising. I didn't expect the Houston Texans to have this good of a season. So most likely they're going to win the AFC South. Then the AFC West, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, who are undefeated 8-0. Now, even though they're 8-0, I don't think they're playing as good as their record. Because I do see some flaws with this team, especially on offense. And I don't think Patrick Mahomes and the offensive line have clicked on all cylinders. So even though they're 8-0, they're not as good as their record. So, but as you know, with the Chiefs, they seem to get in gear towards the second half of the season and go into the playoffs. So most likely, the Kansas City Chiefs will win the AFC West. Now, here we go in the NFC. In the East, you have the Washington Commanders. Now, this team has been very surprising. They're 7-2. They're first place in the NFC East. I'm very surprised with this team. I'm actually impressed with this team, considering that they have a good season last year. They're 7-2. They actually played the Pittsburgh Steelers this afternoon. So it should be an exciting game between the Commanders and the Steelers. So, being that the Eagles who have problems right now, the Cowboys suck. In fact, this season's over because Dak Prescott is out for probably the rest of the season, and the Giants stink. So, most likely, you're going to have to watch the Commanders winning the NFC East. In the NFC North, you have the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions are 7-1. They've been a beast so far in the season. I'm very impressed with the way they played, especially having disappointed in last year in the playoffs, losing in the NFC Championship game. Now, this team is very good. I think they have a very good chance of going to the playoffs and a very good chance of going to the Super Bowl this year, because I think this is how good this team is. So, I'm picking the Detroit Lions to win the NFC North. In the NFC South, you have the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I don't know much about the Atlanta Falcons. Most likely, they're going to win the NFC South because, quite frankly, I think the NFC South is a weak division. Basically, it's a weak division. So, most likely, the Falcons are going to win that division. In the NFC West, right now, it's the Arizona Cardinals, 5-4. But I fully expect the 49ers to get themselves in gear and have a run to the second half season. So I wouldn't be surprised if the San Francisco 49ers overtake the Arizona Cardinals for first place and overtake first place in the NFC West and win the division. Because I still think the 49ers are still a very good team, especially when they get all their players back from injury. They'll get healthier and they'll start to play much better. So I fully expect the San Francisco 49ers to come back in the second of the season and win the NFC West. Now, here are the conference leaders. As of right now, you have the Kansas City Chiefs in first place in that conference, 8-0, and you have the Detroit who are 7-1 and first in the NFC. These two teams right now are on the collision course of going to the Super Bowl as of right now. And I would be surprised if you see the Chiefs and the Lions in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised because a lot of analysts are picking the Chiefs and the Lions to go Super Bowl. So that's my thoughts on the first half of the NFL football season. I'm looking forward to the second half of the season. I'm sure it'll be just as exciting as the first half. Enjoy the football games, football fans. I'm looking forward to watching today's games. We'll be tuning into the Giants versus the Panthers this morning, which is at 9:30, and I'll probably put on the Jets and the Cardinals later on today. I think that game's either at 4 or 4:30. So enjoy your football Sunday, football fans.